My background has been in really CDFIs, Community Development Financial Institutions, native CDFIs. I grew up on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation and had several jobs there, working in the school as a substitute teacher, and my husband and I actually ranch on Pine Ridge. He's a tribal member also, served on the tribal council for 14 years or so. A number of us were trying to figure out how we really could move the reservation ahead, the economy ahead. We needed to create something that would allow us to develop sort of a bottom-up approach instead of a top-down approach. So we started Lakota Funds with the idea that we would provide a little technical assistance and loans to get people started. And really our mission was to create a private sector economy. We had to start thinking about how do we get people thinking about creating wealth. I mean, that was a pretty novel thought, given that all the focus is on how poor we are. Then I was the president of First Nations Owista Corporation, which then helped tribes all over the country start Lakota Fund-like organizations, or CDFIs, or other, asset building programs is what we referred to them as, to get people on that path towards asset building and self-sufficiency. And then in 2009, I was really honored to have been appointed as the USDA Rural Development State Director for South Dakota. To be on that side of the table was really exciting for me, and it was just such a learning experience. I'd always been on the side of the table of trying to get funds to get projects completed or fund our organizations. And then to be on that side of the table where you really got a view of why federal government does what they do. When I was asked to serve on the Leadership Council for the Center for Indian Country Development that the Fed has developed, I was very interested, because the one thing I found out in my work through these last 30 years is you can never bring enough visibility and education about Indian country to the world. It's just a different paradigm. Instead of looking at poverty, you start looking at how you create wealth, how you help people down that path.